Hi guys, Jason here from Empire Distributing, here to talk to you about warming trends. And a question we often get is, can I connect my warming trends burner to a barbecue grill tank? And the answer is yes, you can. There are a few things you need to consider. First of all, your barbecue grill tank, it's very important to point out that this must stand vertical. I see some folks try to put these in fire pits and they'll lay them on their side. These are not designed to run horizontally, they have to run vertically. Oftentimes you'll find your regulators have vents in them and you're not going to want that underneath your burner. Plus it's just inconvenient. It's hard for your consumer to get to. They would have to either remove the burner or put an access door in the side. So we recommend if you're going to use a barbecue grill style tank that you place it outside the fire pit. One thing you will need is this part right here. It's called an LPRH. You're going to find this in your resource guide. And what it consists of is a 10-foot hose. It's got a regulator on here that'll connect directly to your barbecue grill tank. Now, one thing I want to point out is that if you're going to use a barbecue grill tank, the maximum BTUs we can get out of this tank is about 124,000 BTUs. That's all the tank will let out, or this regulator will let through this 3/8 hose. So if your burner is 120,000 BTUs or larger than 120,000 BTUs, this is not an alternative that's going to work for you. A 120 and smaller, it will work. Now, with that being said, there's a few things to consider. If your consumer is putting 120,000 BTUs on a barbecue grill tank, you're going to get about 4 to 6 hours of operation out of this tank before you need to refill it or replace it. So depending on the usage, it may or may not be practical. I always recommend a larger tank, maybe a 100-pound cylinder or 250-pound cylinder. You can locate it further away, put a regulator on there, and run a regular gas line to this fire feature. You're going to get a lot more use. You can also go with a much bigger burner. Now you can get into that 250 or 350,000 BTU burner on a larger tank. So 120,000 BTUs or less, yes, you can get away with it. You do need the LPRH. What I do see a lot of folks do is they'll take this and run it directly to the burner itself. And the challenge, or I guess the danger of that, is this hose is 10 feet long. If you remember from a previous segment, we said the shutoff had to be within 6 feet of the burner of the appliance. So if this is 10 feet away and somebody's turning on the gas and then they're trying to run over here and light the burner at the same time, you can create a dangerous situation. The two are just too far away from one another. So we recommend that you still use your FLKV12. We talked about that in an earlier segment. Remember, this is good for up to 120,000 BTUs. This would be located on the side of your fire feature. It's a quarter turn ball valve, so if you need to turn the gas on and off quickly for any reason, it's just a quarter turn. You're not turning a knob several times to get the gas to shut off. So we still recommend using the FLKV12. The other challenge you can have with this type of barbecue grill tank is there's a check valve inside here. So if you do not use this FLKV and you go directly to the plate on the bottom of this burner system, and you go ahead and turn the gas on quickly, there's a check valve in here that will trip. And when that trips, it'll let just a tiny amount of gas through. Just enough to barely light these jets, but not give you the full flame that you're expecting. The problem is the consumer will call and say, there's something wrong with my burner, something wrong with my system. I only have 1-inch flames. All they've done is simply turn this on too quickly. It didn't recognize resistance or that it was connected. It thought, hey, maybe there's a leak. So it shut down the safety check valve inside here. The consumer would need to turn the tank off. It's always a good idea to separate the regulator, reconnect it, and then turn it on slowly. A lot of that can be avoided when you go to this FLKV with this quarter turn ball valve. You can turn it on with a lot more control. You can turn it on a lot slower, and it's a lot safer to light. You can honestly turn it on with one hand, have your Bic lighter there with the other, and you can light it kind of modestly and let it work itself around between the jets. So this is probably the best scenario. If you have to run off a barbecue grill tank, remember, stay under 120,000 BTUs. If you have further questions about connecting a fire pit burner, a warming trends burner, to a barbecue grill tank, please give us a call.